Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and to today's video where I'll be sharing my top 20 fashion finds that I found across the high street recently. Taking a look at some of my favourite classic pieces new on the high street from the likes of COS and Other Stories, H&M, Mango, Arket, Suzanne, M&M and Reiss. Essentially, I've done a huge spring clean of my wardrobe. I've made some room for some newness, so I thought you might like to see all the pieces that are hovering in my shopping basket right now. First up, I found this beautiful cropped trench coat. You know, I've been looking for one for a while, and actually this one retailing under £60 and made from a really nice fabric composition, I thought was a really great option. It's shorter, but it's not too short, which is definitely something I'm looking for. It's a lovely colour, of course. It's double-breasted, it's got those jetted pockets, and of course being in a really lovely shade of light camel. I think those little details add a really nice touch, certainly for the price as well. Next up in my fashion finds that I found for March, and I headed over to COS. So this balloon sleeve blouse, tongue twister, really stood out for me for those finer details that they've obviously really thought about to make this piece stand out. First of all, I really like the fact that it's been made from Pima cotton, one of my absolute favorites in spring and then as we move into summer. Secondly, I would say they are a beautiful pair of sleeves. But it's those little details, those points of difference that make a blouse like this stand out aside from the rest. Now overall, as you can see, it's got quite a voluminous shape, so you could either leave that out or, like I often do, tuck it into your trousers or your jeans. I like the fact as well that that collar's sitting nice and flat, which I think contrasts really well with those big, rather beautiful sleeves. Now, no good classic wardrobe is complete without a beautiful tonal outfit or two. And heading over to Mango, I spotted this outfit idea straight away and knew I had to have it for my wardrobe. I am a little bit obsessed, I will admit, with tonal outfits, but I just find them so very elegant to wear. If I had to pick a favourite between those three pieces and I could only choose one, I would probably go with the trousers. They're coming in really affordably and they just look a very classic, tailored pair of trousers, which is something I would reach for at least on a weekly basis, if not every other day. I don't think I've ever done a monthly favourites video before, actually, so personally I'm finding this quite nice, just having done a bit of a no-buy haul, so to speak, and sharing some of the favourite pieces that have really caught my eye across the high street recently. So do let me know in the comments below if you enjoy this type of video. It's fun and actually helpful for me too, so hopefully you're finding that as well. Now, stating the obvious, but when I think of classic spring pieces, of course I have to go and have a little bit of a mooch over at Suzanne, where worryingly I found far too many pieces I would love to add into my own basket. But I really tried to edit down my list and I've just gone for 2 or 3, I think. This lovely ecru dress being one of them. So I would describe this as a very classic short-sleeved midi dress. It's one of those staple pieces that I like to have in my wardrobe in spring and summer, but it's also quite a staple piece that Suzanne do very well, and they bring back in a slight different iteration year after year. Points of difference with this one that I think really stand out, of course, that embroidered fabric makes it feel just that extra bit special. I really like those little cap sleeves, and of course being able to cinch it in with a matching waistband just will help give you a little bit more shape and overall more of an hourglass silhouette. Now, thinking of styling this particular piece at the moment where we're getting glimmers of sunshine for spring, but it's not quite there yet for sandal weather, I would probably go with ballet flats. And actually new for Suzanne's collection for spring 2025, I noticed they launched this lovely pair. So with these being in a lovely caramel suede, not only do they look a little bit different from the rest, but if you treat them carefully, they should last you a really long time. Good tip actually for any suede shoes that you might have in your own wardrobe or thinking of buying this spring, do get yourself a can of Crepe Protect. Bit of a tongue twister again. I use that on my shoes and all of the boys as well, actually, and it just protects the suede from getting any scuffs or marks when you're out and about. So with warmer spring days on my mind, I did think this was an absolutely gorgeous option from the high street. So again, this is a very classic looking midi dress, but equally quite different from the one I found at Suzanne. This one has been made from linen. Obviously it's got no sleeves, but I really like the fact that they've done quite a classic collar around the neckline. This dress kind of looks like you need to be getting off your yacht in Saint-Tropez. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? And then a lovely finishing touch with this one, of course, would be that contrasting belt. I'd probably end up using that within other outfits ideas as well. I think that's a really nice one. Massimo Dutti do of course do beautiful collections all year round, but I do personally think in spring they really come into their own. Case in point would be this beautiful chocolate brown linen midi skirt. Not sure what it is about Massimo Dutti this season that's got me wanting all of their skirts, but I almost think once you find that brand that's creating an item in a shape that you find really flattering, it's definitely worth keep going back to them. So in contrast to the other one I bought a few weeks ago, this one is a little bit more floaty, obviously a different fabric composition, and in this season's colour trend of chocolate brown. However, those of you who equally like to create a classic capsule wardrobe that's going to last you years, I don't think this one is going to date. It's just a beautifully made midi skirt in a colour that, if you equally like your neutrals, will mix and match really easily. Next up in my classic fashion finds to a beautiful white suit. Now, I don't know about you, but I personally find it very hard to resist a beautiful white suit, especially for spring. It just feels right, doesn't it? So when I spotted this one made from linen, but also with that extra detail of the pinstripes, it swiftly made its way into my basket. So not only did this one feel a little bit different because it's pinstripes, which I don't know if you remember is one of the big fashion trends that we saw on the runway for spring and summer 2025, but on top of that, it was also really nice and quite rare actually to see a pair of really lovely tailored trousers that are a bit more low slung. Now, I am a fan of high-waisted trousers and I've got an awful lot of pairs in my wardrobe, but there is something quite spring-like about having a pair that are a bit more relaxed. And obviously, yes, you could dress this suit up and wear it with heels or wear it to the office or nice sandals, but I equally look at outfits like this and think, wouldn't that look really nice kind of dressed down even with a pair of flat sandals on my feet once the weather gets warmer? Now, once upon a time, I would have said if you were looking for a knitted linen jumper, Jigsaw would be the place to go. I vividly remember, even in my teens, heading there for them every single spring, summer. However, in recent years, there's a brand that's taken that mantle, and it would be Massimo Dutti. They just make this style really well, and they managed to do it really affordably too, which is a very happy bonus. So hovering in my own shopping basket at the moment, I opted for this one that's in a kind of khaki, deep olive tone. But in actual fact, this one is available in about 7 different colors, I think, all of which would style beautifully with your white jeans, your blue jeans, tailored trousers, a lovely long maxi skirt, or even actually those tailored trousers that we were looking at before. Now, if you're looking for some fab fashion finds this spring, then look no further than Marks & Spencer's, who are having an absolutely amazing season. Worryingly for my bank balance, they keep bringing out pieces that I really want to add into my own wardrobe. And top of the list would be this beautiful waistcoat. Now, actually, I couldn't decide if I loved the waistcoat, the blazer, or the trousers the most. And as there were so many pieces just on their website alone that I'd love to have, I really do need to choose between the 3. So do let me know in the comments, out of those 3 pieces, if you could only choose one, which one would you go for? I'm kind of leaning towards the waistcoat vest, as that's not something I've got an awful lot of in my own wardrobe, but yet equally it's something I found really versatile to wear last spring, summer. But then I do love a blazer. A little bit too much. And annoyingly, the 2-piece certainly together. But anyway, my indecisiveness aside, I do think they are a couple of really great high street pieces. Love the nipped-in shape, adore the colour, and of course, that very affordable price point is very much appreciated. Back to Suzanne and another classic for your wardrobe this spring, but nice to see they've brought the long pippa dress back in a new light blue wash instead. I remember last spring, summer, they brought this dress out in quite a lot of different colours, but they were all quite bright actually, which on the whole isn't something I naturally veer towards. I much prefer those muted, soft pastel shades. But this dress in that washed out blue, I could definitely imagine a few different ways I would style that one already. I hope it won't be long. I could be styling this with ballet flats and sandals, but I also think dresses like this look great with just a classic pair of white trainers. So that's another way you could really turn the styling of this one and make it into a really everyday casual kind of look. 20 classic high street fashion finds, number 10 maybe, to a beautiful pair of jeans. Now these ones came in really affordably as they're from H&M's normal collection, and I would say the style is just that little bit different that it really caught my eye. Obviously these are denim jeans, but they've got a little bit of stretch in there for that added comfort. And actually what stood out for me the most was the shape of these. So they're quite high-waisted, you've got that nice press crease down the front, but then you've got quite an exaggerated crop and a wide leg at the hem. I thought that made a really nice look. So another really good, affordable fashion find for your spring wardrobe. Spring fashion finds for March, and in my humble opinion, one can never have too many beautiful blouses in your wardrobe. Case in point to this lovely number I found at Mango. This one stood out for me not only because of that bow tie, but also because of the texture. I just think that will add another element of detail along with a beautiful shape. In truth, I would probably style this mostly with jeans, perhaps with white jeans actually, to give it a little bit more of a spring vibe, but I think it would also work really nicely with some chocolate brown tailored trousers, or perhaps something in camel. Actually, that would be a nice color combination, but also a really nice mix of textures too. I can't remember which video it was, but recently I was talking about how I loved this knitted vest in this window check kind of design at COS. Well, then when I popped on there the other day, I noticed they brought it out in a matching cardigan too. So this was definitely going straight on my wish list for March. Again, like I keep saying, it's about those little elements that really make a piece stand out above the rest, even if it's quite a classic staple item for your wardrobe. Something like this with a really interesting design with that window pane check feels different. It doesn't look like everybody else's spring cardigans that they're wearing. It stands out, and yet it's doing it really subtly at the same time. Another day and another blouse, but when I spotted this one in soft lemon, it was a definite adding to wishlist moment. So along with being very pretty, I really liked the embroidery on this one. I think that's a nice detail. Plus, I like the fact that it looks like it's quite a wide, almost A-line shape. One, I think that's really nice for spring. It does feel quite floaty and airy and a little bit ethereal. But two, I find it really versatile as well, because obviously you can wear it out. But equally, when you tuck it in, you could either have it quite fitted, you could do a bit of an up and over, you can easily change up the style of those outfits with blouses like this. Now, thinking of that lovely lemon blouse before actually, and styling wise, in my head I'm kind of thinking high-waisted denim jeans, maybe with a flare actually, and little elements of tan in the mix. And then to complete the look, I think a nice pair of sunglasses to finish. Something coincidentally that I noticed in and other stories when I popped into store recently, they've got some really nice pairs with a slightly 70s kind of theme. Both of these are on my wish list and they're both quite similar, but I'm only going to choose one, and both of which actually have quite a 70s aviator style. Now, I do really like the tortoiseshell on these, but I wasn't so keen on the slightly red looking lenses. I would have personally preferred the tortoiseshell frame with a very traditional style lens, or I'm thinking to just go with the classic aviators and the gold rim. Do let me know your favorites and help me decide in the comments. Classic fashion finds number, I really have no idea, but I did really like this pair of tailored trousers. These for me are just that perfect everyday tailored pair of navy trousers that we all need in our wardrobe, because we probably, me definitely included, would wear them on repeat. Now, you don't necessarily have to get yours from M&M, which these are from, but I do really think it's worth finding that perfect pair for you. These for me are that perfect pair. I do already have a couple of their tailored trousers in my wardrobe, and I can hand on heart say they are absolutely worth every single penny. Yes, I know they are more pricey than the H&Ms of the world. However, you definitely get what you pay for. A beautiful pair of trousers that you should, if you take care of them, have for life. Another classic wardrobe essential now, as I do find, particularly in spring, that I still need another layer. So if I was wearing this outfit out and about, but I don't quite need to have long sleeves, that for me is when short sleeve cardigans really come into their own. And not only do I use them, practically as an extra layer, but I also really like them as a statement piece in itself on their own. So I'd absolutely wear this cardigan as a standalone piece, maybe button it all the way to the top, or you could even leave it open, have a little bit more skin showing at the neckline. The nature of that color does work particularly well with blue jeans, but equally the joy of neutrals means they will work with so many different colors. So if you're perhaps a color maximalist, this will absolutely work over the top of, say, a bright red dress if you wish. This one has been made from organic cotton, so that's an extra big tick in my book. Plus, I really like the detail on this one too, just elevating it even more. Next up to a piece which I feel like I should add a caveat to it. Don't think I've gone completely bonkers with this one. I don't really like how they've styled it with the trousers underneath. But if you try and zone straight in on that midi skirt as a piece all in its own right, and how you would style it with some lovely sandals or ballet flats, it's a really gorgeous midi skirt. I just think it's really interesting with those pocket details and the belt and the buttons. It does feel something different, and yet at the same time it's a really classic piece that one could be styled very, very easily with just a tank top and some lovely sandals, as much as you could absolutely dress this one up with a lovely blouse and some nice neutral heels. So that's a good tip actually when you're shopping and looking at these websites and the new spring collections yourself. Try and remove yourself a little bit from how they've styled it and zone straight in on the actual piece itself. 20 high street finds for spring, and I spotted this beautiful dress at M&M. So the theory of it is on the top half, it's like a doubled over jersey cotton fabric, which feels really nice to wear. And then the skirt portion of the dress is actually made from a really, really beautiful cotton sateen. So this season when I spotted they brought out the new edition with short sleeves, I can pretty much guarantee this is going to be one of their new bestsellers. It's sad but true, women of a similar age to me have a thing about their upper arms. We just do. I don't know what it is. We hit a certain age and we go, oh, that looks a bit bingo wings. I don't like it. So when I spot dresses with short sleeves, I'm personally all in straight away, as I'm sure lots of you are too. Couple that with the fact they've done it in a really gorgeous shade of green, which works so very nicely with my favorite hints of tan. Well, there we go. I'm totally sold on this one. And last but not least, in my March favorites, a little knitted polo top can go a long way, especially when you find one in such a gorgeous shade of brown. Wreaths, like I mentioned, are brilliant for adding in that statement dress or perhaps a statement pair of trousers into your capsule wardrobe. But you can also sometimes find those classic staple pieces like this polo there as well. So this one, as you can see, it's made from a knitted fabric. It's got that classic collar as well. And actually style-wise, it is a very classical spring item that would work beautifully with a great pair of tailored white trousers or jeans actually if you want to make it a little bit more casual. Styling wise, I would probably never wear those buttons all the way to the top. I think that's a little bit too prim for me. So personally, I'd leave it open, a little bit more relaxed, and I would probably dress it in a really timeless fashion with classic ballet flats, a lovely pair of white tailored trousers, and maybe a straw bag to finish to get me in the mood for some lovely sunny spring days. And that, my lovelies, is just about it. I really, really hope you've enjoyed this video, you found it helpful, and that it's given you lots of outfit ideas and inspiration of not only what's about on the high street at the moment, but hopefully seeing some of my favorite pieces. It might have sprung some different ideas for you too with pieces you've already got. Don't forget, you can follow me on all my other social media channels. I would be very grateful if you did. And if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, and of course you enjoyed this video, it'd be really lovely if you'd like to do so. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you all again on Sunday. Take care.